Hello. Today on Pull Start Stables, I am crating up Norman's old Duramax engine. I have sold this to a nice gentleman in North Carolina. He has a LB7 equipped truck that he has had nothing but bad luck with used engines. I disclaimed to him that I believe the head gaskets blew on this. According to the Carfax of when I bought Norman, this had brand new heads replaced at a dealership somewhere in Oklahoma 2 years before they blew. I don't know if the heads were not properly torqued. I do not know if there was a malfunction. This truck did not have a tuner on it. I always idled it for warm up and cool down, especially when towing. But all mechanical parts fail. It's never a matter of if, but when it happens. It's unfortunate, and nobody ever likes when it happens to them, but it is just kind of a happenstance of what we do. Our hobby of hot rodding or keeping the old alive, it just happens to be that sometimes problems happen. So if I only knew then what I know now, I would have gone and gotten the correct parts to just repair this engine, because when I went to Dallas, Fort Worth, and got a whole nother truck with a blown transmission and swapped that Duramax engine into Norman. That's kind of funny that my truck's sitting in the background. I didn't notice that. Anyway, when I did all the work to swap my new engine in, I ended up pretty much tearing it all the way down to the heads and doing head studs and doing a turbo rebuild and doing the up pipe replacement so I can get more flow and lower EGTs and all that through my replacement engine. So live and learn. I definitely learned, and that's life. This has been sitting in my garage. I recently cleaned my garage. It looks amazing, and I decided that there's no place for this old engine left in the shop. So this man sent me some money via Walmart Money Center. Never heard of it before, but it worked out okay. He basically sent me a picture with a barcode, and I had to tell the nice lady at Walmart who I was expecting money from, how much, so on and so forth, proved all my credentials, and bam, I had a stack of $100 bills. It was great. So the gentleman has asked that I take pictures of everything I'm doing to crate this up, and I figured why not make a video, because pictures are worth 1,000 words. I think videos are worth even more. You can get so much detail, you can slow it down when you need to. And basically he's looking for his insurance, you know, if something were to go wrong, just to verify that I took all the precautions necessary to get this to North Carolina safely, and that's that. So I just went through, I don't remember why I had this valve cover off, so I loosely tightened the rocker shaft just enough to get the valve cover in place so no more debris was able to enter. I taped up all the loose hardware. I have this FICM module that needs to be attached. I have just some random things that need to be attached. I believe I will lay that right into the alternator pocket and maybe just thread some wire through there, twist it shut. I plan on sticking this on top of a 42 by 48 pallet. I will put another pallet on top, and then I will build a crate around it. So that way it is sealed from elements and whatnot. I'm also going to strap this down to the first pallet before I begin crating it, so it's well secured. Just taking a once over look around. Showing the engine in its mostly complete state. My customer has stated that he has an entire top end that is in good shape, that he plans to make sure this bottom end is also in equally good shape, and he will marry them together and have, once again, a good running Duramax engine. This is 10 gauge solid copper. Could probably be used for something more efficient, but it works very well for this, and I have an abundant supply of it currently. So now that won't go anywhere. All that's bundled together. Everything else, harness-wise, is attached to the engine. So I'll make sure that it's tied up just so that way it doesn't get rattled loose. Go from there. Now there are no loose ends. I'm going to go ahead and tighten those up just to make sure that they won't come out. And those are just pieces of aluminum strapping. I basically did that so when I rolled it around in my shop, it wouldn't roll off the pallet. Everything's tied up good. I grabbed some 500-pound straps from Walmart while I was picking up my cash. And I figure that this engine is probably 800 pounds or so once it's crated up. So having 1,000 pounds of straps is going to be plenty. That was a lucky throw. Woo! Okay, for now, I'm going to just throw this strap around here. That way, this won't come apart from the front. And that should work out just well. I decided it may be easier to just build the crate in the truck. I've never actually looked at this block. You can see water coming down right here. And I think this is actually a common place for these to blow because there's the heat of this exhaust manifold and the heat of this exhaust manifold, creating a lot of heat. So I'd be starting by pulling down that passenger side head. But it's not mine anymore. And it's probably worth pulling both sides for the sake of knowing that everything on the other side is just fine. I had expressed concern for that oil pan. Check that out. It fits right down between the runners of this bottom pallet, And because of this, there's no way that a fork can damage that oil pan. That right there is what I'm talking about with that blown head gasket. Like I said, if I only would have known then what I know now. So straps are snug. That's good for shipping. Yeehaw. I have created a positive stop for the oil pan so it cannot go forward or backward. I have a strap up and over the turbo holding the engine down. I also have a strap from the inside motor mount where the stop is that holds the rubber mount in on both sides. So that way the engine is held down in two different ways, plus these straps on the back. I have screwed this to this. I have screwed these all the way through to here, so everything is good and secure. I'm sure that this engine's going to be torn down and gone through, but for the sake of it, I plugged the turbo inlet and outlet and also the intake, so that way no debris can get down in there. They say you'll never use math once you get out of school, but they were wrong. I added up all the heights of my corners and came up with 193, which I proved over here was incorrect. So then I recalculated and came up to 153. 4 into 153 ended up being 38 1/4, and that's what I have to cut my uprights at. Whoa. That is hard wood. I guess we'll screw it. That's way better. That is unreal. Gonna have to pre-drill it. No way. That is right where my drill ends. Unreal. I think I have shorter screws. Wow. Well, the good news is once this is together, it's not going to just fall apart. I'm gonna take my Sawzall and cut up a few more skids. It's good and solid. So I took a little break from crating this up, and I had a rowdy rooster that needed to be dispatched. And So I'm cleaning this thing because I don't believe in wasting them. And I'm gonna eat it, right? So I'm talking to the customer about how I'm crating this up. And we're chit-chatting. And all of a sudden I realized that we're not chit-chatting anymore. I hung up on him, but I didn't hang up on him. The rooster did. Somehow that rooster's foot was very dead, but managed to just perfectly hit the hang up button on my phone. I think that was pretty dang funny. He got a good kick out of it. Ooh. And we just got one more thing to kind of laugh about this experience. See, we both believe that there are good people in this world, but the world is full of bad news. And to prove that there are still good people in this world, that's why we do these things. We take the time to make sure that this thing's crated up well. We're gonna take the time to make sure that it is wrapped and banded. Because this isn't my engine anymore. This is Mr. Jonathan's engine. But I still care. I'd still love to hear the success story about this living on one more time. And I believe there's still good people in this world that can make it happen. I have managed to buy multiple vehicles from out of state. If you do or don't recall, the engine that replaced this one, I bought it from a Spanish-speaking only gentleman. We used Google Translate, and he believed in me from over 1,300 miles away that I would actually come and get this thing and that I would pay him a fair price and make it work. So that's that. I've got a little bit more to go here. I've got one more side to go on the back or the front of the engine. And this thing will be crated good and stout. I do think I have a piece of plywood that might fit on top that sheeted a skid previously. So I might throw that on just for the sake of it, so nothing falls down in there. But otherwise, I don't actually think I'm shaking the crate. I think I'm shaking the engine. I'm happy with that. And I hope Mr. Jonathan is too. And there we have it. A 100% crated Duramax LB7 ready for shipment. I believe that is good and secure. I truly hope the best for all involved with this engine and the project. Thank you for watching and have a great day.